Hey, what's up guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends 2-in-1 action figure review. Today we are looking at the Strange Tales Blackheart Build-A-Figure Waves, Dracula, and Bloodstorm. And I'm reviewing these two figures together in one video, I think for fairly obvious reasons. See little images of each of the characters, and then you can see a larger version of each of those characters on this side right over here, and then on the back you get that same artwork, and there's a read-up over here for Bloodstorm. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. There's a read-up for Dracula. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause it right now. And then here's all the other figures from the wave. On the top, you get the Strange Tales logo. Not much more at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack these figures open. And if you're trying to get your Marvel Legends, you can do so.
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here are the vampires out of the packaging. Looking pretty damn cool, man. I gotta tell you right off the bat, head sculpts on each of these figures are pretty impressive. So that does really make me like each of the figures already. However, there's so much reuse with the Bloodstorm figure. The Dracula figure, that one's on another level, man. I'm pretty stoked about it. So let's get a closer look at Bloodstorm first, and then we'll get a closer look at Dracula. So while we have reuse here, which is actually not as much reuse on this figure as I initially thought, but my point I want to make here is that these head sculpts look really good, and I love the paint applications. It just shows how much Hasbro cares compared to like what they've done before. You can just see a vast improvement over here with the shading on the head sculpts. Now, this isn't the second latest Storm figure. I can't remember exactly when this one came out. She does have a different leather jacket, not the same exact leather jacket. Oh, and by the way, talking about the bio of the character, this is a Storm from a different universe, right? So Dracula did want to wed the 616 Storm, but this is Bloodstorm from a different universe when she was bitten by Dracula at a younger age. So, vaguely remember the character. I remember her reading her in X-Men Blue and stuff. But anyway, I like how the earrings look over here. Her mohawk hair looks great. I really like that we have gray mixed in there with the white. I dig that. She also comes with a more relaxed head sculpt, and having the two head sculpts right here, following the Ruckus rule, I really like it. Should we call it the Ruckus rule of twos? But anyway, there's some staining over here that I don't like so much. Yeah, it doesn't really look that good. But overall, I'm happy that they have gray mixed in here with the white. And yeah, I like this head sculpt a lot. I love that you can see her fangs right there. I love how the eyes look. So both of them, very good looking head sculpts. And I really love the new stuff that we're getting over here. Now these arms look old and reused, right? You could tell, Jessica Jones. But the leather jacket is totally new. It's not the same leather jacket that we saw on this Storm over here or on the Callisto figure. So I love that we get a new nice leather jacket. I love the silver. It looks really nice on the buttons and on the zippers over here. Nice texturing on it and everything. Then we have this new upper torso, which at first I thought was reused, but it's hella not. You can see that sculpted detail right there on her top, you know, that's all new stuff. Plus more cleavagey. I like that, you know, and it makes me happy to see. I think this is the last cleavage Storm we got, you know, so yeah, why not? Make it more comic accurate, you know what I mean? I like that. It looks really nice. They did a good job with that. I like the flesh tone too. And then belt looks nice right over here. And then from the waist down, I like that they changed this up. We'll get into articulation more in a second, but, you know, it could look ugly. I could see how some could hate that, but I'd rather have that there than not. But if you don't want to use it, you can just leave it like that. But anyway, this looks kind of bland, and, you know, moving these knees around is not a pleasure. Same exact thing that we'd seen before, same boots and everything, so nothing really new over there, and you get peg holes. Oh, and you get interchangeable hands. Don't forget the interchangeable hands. So she has some wide open hands. Peace sign right here. Peaceful vampire, okay? Oh man, I love these Dracula head sculpts. They're so dope. But first, yeah, this cool version of Dracula I like. I read the first issue and I want to read more. He's teaming up with the daughter of Blade, and I thought it was a fun read, and I think he fights the X-Men at some point too. So I'm interested in checking out those books as well. And I really like this design too. Very cool looking Dracula. I really love how the eyes came out on this figure. The teeth and fangs look great. You got the tongue painted in there. The mouth's painted all nicely. Nice gold right over here for his earrings. I like how the hair came out too. Nice subtle gray mixed in with the hair. He has interchangeable heads along with interchangeable hair pieces too. So he has a neutral head sculpt right here as well, which also looks fantastic. I love that paint around the eyes over there. Just looks really good, man. I love the quality that we're seeing with these. People say that Hasbro doesn't care. People say that Hasbro doesn't care. I'm like, what the fuck? Sometimes they do. At least sometimes. Oh man, this is cool that you could swap these out though, and you could rotate this. This is not porting in nicely. There we go. Could be a little tricky putting that on, but I got it on there. So you get rotation on these ponytails, and you could switch them out with each other, which is a nice bonus, you know, a little bit more relaxed. And then this is when he's attacking. Goes great with the screaming face. I love all this stuff, right? It's a new figure, man, so it makes me just really happy. I like that we get subtle cast iron finish right over here in the sculpt. The chain looks pretty good. I like this rough texturing right here throughout the armor. We'll get into that articulation later on, but yeah, these gloves look really nice. We get just single jointed elbows, but it's not really bothering me that much on this particular figure. And I like how the hands came out. You can see he's got his sword holding hand right here with the horizontal hinge. You get the vertical hinge on this side. Then he comes with an even set of fist hands, which the details on all the hands look really good too. I really like that. You can see the pointing claws. In the book, I saw he had like an extra big left hand claw. Would have been nice to have had that. And then he also has this great looking sword. I think nice looking sword. And it did glow orange at a point in the book, but hey, this looks pretty nice. That backdrop's not working well for this color. Nice amount of silver in the plastic. I would have preferred silver painted over it, but it still looks pretty nice, man. And then looking at the rest of the figure right here, you know, you get this dark gray color tone right there mixed in and combined with red throughout, and the design right here. And yeah, the boots look really good. I like this whole knighted armor look for Dracula. It makes sense to me. I don't know, I just think it looks pretty neat. Here's looking at the back of the figure, Dracula butt, Dracula back, and the way the cape is attached over here just works really well for me too. And I really like how it's all tattered and everything as well. Kind of reminding me of the Batwing stuff a little bit, just naturally torn that way. Kinda, I don't know. So I'm not going to thoroughly go over the articulation with Bloodstorm over here. I do like having the neck hinge with the ball right there, so she could look up very far, which is very cool. The arms, the legs we're familiar with. This upper torso barely crunches forward, or the diaphragm cut. It turns side to side and it pivots. And it moves back more than it moves forward. And you do get that waist cut, which I can understand. A bunch of people would really hate that being there. I prefer having more articulation than less articulation. That's just my stance on it, but it is definitely an ugly joint. What's also kind of ugly is that I can't get the arms to move inward more than that. That's a frustration, so that bums me out a little bit. The Dracula over here, while it does not have that neck hinge, it's just on a ball joint right here. Well, you also get the ball joint for the ponytail as I demonstrated earlier. So he could look up just that far, which is not... It's not ideal. It's not awful. You can look down that much. You get side-to-side motion, and the heads pivot side to side. No butterfly joints over here, and the cape does hinder the articulation. If you have the shoulders pointing a little bit more forward, you can get them up that far, you know? So that's not too bad. You can move them inward all the way too, which is actually pretty good. You can move them forward and back a bit. You get a bicep swivel up there. Single jointed elbows, and they do bend in very far. So that's pretty cool for a single jointed elbow. I guess this works for the design. You also get rotation at the forearm, then you get rotation at the wrists. We talked about that hinge right over there. We have a diaphragm cut here. Diaphragm pivoting, crunches forward a little bit, back a little bit. I would have liked to have had another ball joint at this point right over here where this plastic meets into the lower abs. That would have been nice to have another bonus torso piece of articulation right there. I feel like they could have added that in there, right? I don't know. And then you have hips right here that move outward. I like the wrinkles that they have sculpted right there. That's pretty consistent. Looks good. Anyway, he kicks forward that much, back a little bit, upper thigh cut. You have nice pinless double jointed knees that bend in all the way. I love that they gave us side-to-side rotation right here at the foot. Ooh, why you gotta be mean to Storm for? And then the ankles do move down. They do move up very well, and he has beautiful ankle pivot. Now to measure out these figures, you can see that they are standing pretty close in height. Bloodstorm over here is standing just a little over 6 inches tall, and we have Dracula right over here, standing just a little under the 7-inch mark, close to 6 3/4. And then for some comparisons, here's Bloodstorm next to our Mohawk Storm right over there. A lot of similarities, but I do appreciate the upgrades. I think I'm liking this figure more so than that one. If you want to see a head swap, we could do that. That I don't see the point in necessarily having to do a head swap over here, but, you know, if you wanted this one, oh, come on. That flesh tone is not really matching for me. Yeah, pointless head swap, but hey, someone's happy I did it, right? Then for an X-Men vampire comparison, you can see Bloodstorm right here next to the Jubilee Build-A-Figure. Then for a Dracula comparison, you could see our new updated 2024 Dracula, and then this is the older Dracula from the 5-pack set. If I remember right, I think it was a 5-pack set. And then, of course, we had to compare this Dracula figure next to our latest Blade. Then here's Bloodstorm and Dracula. Next to the only other figures from this wave that I've already reviewed, we have Brother Voodoo, Moon Knight, and Helverine. And then here's Bloodstorm and Dracula. Next to your average 6-inch scale figure, we have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Hey, Lestat, what's with the earrings, bro? Huh? Trying to outdo your girlfriend over there with the earrings, huh? Well, what's up with those discs over there? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it helped you in your purchase making decisions. If it did, hey, go ahead and hit that like button. If you didn't, well, oh my god, do not hit that like button, I guess. And if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And these figures aren't terrible. They're definitely not my most hated figures from the wave. I do like the new head sculpts, and I do like the new changes done to the Bloodstorm. It's just not a whole lot, and I don't know, I just didn't really long for a Bloodstorm that much. Actually, I didn't long for either of these figures so much, but I know this Bloodstorm is Storm from a different universe, right? So, and in the 616, Storm and Dracula actually have a thing there too, which is cool. So, you know, for that, it's neat to have another version of Storm. It's technically a different character. Same thing with Dracula. This is a different version of Dracula, so it's new characters in my mind, kinda, for each of them too. It's like, so I'm not that bummed out about having them. You know, I didn't necessarily want either of them, but I am happy to have at least the Dracula more than anything else. So I'm gonna rate them differently. They're each about $25, and they each do come with their own Build-A-Figure pieces, so yeah. For the price point of $25 for Dracula, I'm going to give that a Sud rating of...
I love it!
Then for the Bloodstorm figure, I'm going to give her a Sud rating of...
It's not so bad.
And I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see the latest Marvel news, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com, and if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, oh, I double dare ya, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. And I will catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Anyway, on the side of the packaging over here, you can see... Ah, shit! Woo! Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face.